What is up, Nickel City Mafia? The Bills win a thriller today. I mean, I don't know. My heart, I didn't think I was going to be able to withstand that. But we got a lot to talk about in this game. Before we do, I thought, this year, because of all the changes, we needed something special to kick off the year. So this is kind of something from last year. I did a few edits. Let's listen to it, and then we'll come back and get into this game.
I believe in Buffalo. I believe in the Buffalo way. The land of blue cheese and the red pinto. The town run by a mostly benevolent mafia. They come to you in friendship, unless you insult the family. And the family business? It's football. Everyone's working together to ensure this season ends with a celebration in Niagara Square. Oh, they've pictured it so many times. The trophy, parade, the hazy halo of thousands of victory cigars outside City Hall. And they're still confident, even after all the heartbreak. Better days are coming. And with this Bills team, why wouldn't they be? 1, 2, 3. It all starts with 17. Josh burst out of the scene with a what?
Jumps over a man at the
And then he followed it up with yet another what?
He's unbelievable.
And now they're naming streets and towns after him. But I mean, that's Buffalo. A town that bleeds blue and red, and good old Josh embodies what it means to be a Buffalo Bill. He's tougher than a $2 steak in Tonawanda. And he's got an arm reminiscent of my good friend Jim Kelly. He's everything the city waited for and more. The offense looks like it could go bananas with the DK brothers at tight end. And I can't wait to see the super freak, Rick James Cook. He could be cold-blooded. Of course, you can't talk about Sean McDermott's Bills without mentioning a defense that's strong enough to plow through 7 feet of snow. But it's the future Hall of Famer, Von Miller, who's returning with some unfinished business to prove he's still the difference maker he was when he raised the Lombardi Trophy twice. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? All you gotta do is believe. And this city believes like no other, which is why I believe in Buffalo. And no one, I mean no one, deserves a championship like the Buffalo Bills.
And oh my goodness, there you go. Josh Allen got another whoop in there today, right? Just incredible putting on that Superman cape. But we got a lot to talk about. Jake, first of all, let me introduce our host. We got a full panel tonight. We got Brett from the Go Bills podcast. We got Sean from the Red, White, and Bills. We got Mr. Podger, encyclopedia of football knowledge like you've never seen before. We got Buffalo Barbie doll joining us tonight. You know her as Jessica Tennis, but here she goes, bringing out Buffalo Barbie tonight. So we're excited about this. Jake, why don't you kick it off for us? You were at the game. Talk to me about the tailgate, and then tell me about the best dish that was served at the tailgate today.
Oh, you're really you're making this difficult, Mike. I had a lot of different foods today. My stomach is trying to recoup from everything. I had a lot of Tums today, to say the least. But it was amazing. I mean, it's, home opener. There's such a buzz throughout the entire city. Yeah, it was amazing. It was everything you would hope for. Woke up real early this morning, about 6 a.m., and got up over to the office at around, it was like just before 8. We got there and started the tailgate off, cracked open a couple beers, had some bourbon, did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's a beautiful thing. It's just amazing. And there were so many different foods. My boss, shout out to Sam Violani. By the way, he gave me this. The suite members got themselves these little pennants, these Bills Mafia pennants. He said I have to show it on the show tonight. So shout out to you, Sam. Thank you. He did a smoked pot roast, a regular pot roast. We had pasta salad. We had wings, homemade wings. Someone was brave enough to do it. I got to say, they did a hell of a job. They did some Frank's hot sauce with some barbecue, try to mimic the Elmo's double dip. I thought they did a very good job. I don't even know who made them, but they were so good. What else do we have? My goodness. tons of Salen's hot dogs, Mike. Tons of Salen's hot dogs, which, Buffalo staple. There's nothing better than a Salen's hot dog, I got to say. What else do we have? My gosh, there was mac and cheese. There was just regular pasta, just like red sauce pasta, too. And it was a little overkill, and it was just a smorgasbord, and I love it. It was basically just a big old potluck. We had a DJ at the tailgate. We walked from there. We met my wife's cousin, Laura. They had a party bus. We were hanging out with them for quite some time. Shout out to them. Ashley Dopp, who's a huge Buffalo Bills supporter. She does the Buffalo Bills boat parade. She's head of that. We were hanging out with her for a little bit. Got a nice picture with the whole squad. That was incredible. We even saw I think we saw the Cardinals team bus actually come in. So that was pretty sweet. And what else? Man, from there, just brought our beers to the gate, got in, made it in for warm-ups, and from then on, I got to say the crowd was absolutely electric. It was loud. I mean, I felt the stadium shaking. And it's, again, you feel like every time you go to the stadium, you go to one of these games, it's the loudest experience you've ever been at. Again, I'm going to say it is one-upped my last time at the stadium as the loudest experience I've ever been a part of. So just amazing. And it was a nail biter, but I'll tell you what, we got the dub. And again, Josh Allen proves that he is him and on his way to an MVP season. The MVP chance, we're already starting, but we'll save more of that for later. It was incredible. And I got a little red too. Got some sunburn today.
Yeah, you got to get red. I mean, the September game, you definitely going to get a little red. So I want just to say hi real quick to the folks out there in the chat. Good to see you out there, Dennis. Thank you for joining us. We got Finn's forecast coming in. That's our good friend Keith, and he's saying Chris Berman is a traitor. Chris Berman's been a long-time Buffalo Bills fan.
He has a statue outside the Big Tree Inn.
Yes, and he changed that lineup at the end. Like, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Yes, Big Al, another nail biter. I mean, shoot, people, it's funny, some of the predictions we had this year, people saying 35-10, we're going to smoke them. Josh will be taken out in the third quarter, have to take the rest of the game off. We should have learned our lesson last year. I don't know. Does anyone have the number of one-score games that we had last year? It was like
great question.
Majority of our games last year, and that looks like it's going to continue. My dad's out there. Good to see you, Dad. Love that opener. Yes, thank you. Chad the Chief, thank you. Weston, good to see you as always. And so, Jake, let me just start with you real quick. We're going to start with the offensive side of things, and we're going to go around the horn. But I'll start with you. You were at the game. Talk to me about what you saw from this offense today. What you liked, what you didn't like. Talk to me.
Well, I absolutely loved everything from JA-17. I have no negative things to even say about Josh Allen. I mean, this dude kept us in the game and basically won us the game. So nothing bad to say about him. He got the offense moving. Now, the first half was a little rough. I mean, I got to say, it was a slow start. We were running into the box every time. I will say James Cook had a very good first half. Second half, I felt like Joe Brady didn't set him up as well. There were a lot of plays where it's like he's just running straight up the gut for nothing, and it was just very frustrating. Ray Davis, love what I saw from him. But what I was very impressed with overall with the offense was it was very methodical. I think it was 9 different players caught passes today, which is, I mean, something we really haven't seen in quite some time. I mean, last year, what a difference, right? The first 8 games of the year, Steph Diggs on pace to have like 150 catches or whatever it is, right? That's our main target. And maybe we're only having, 3 to 4 guys catch balls. This time around, the stats are not off the page or gaudy or anything like that, but everyone contributed in a way, and it was a beautiful thing to see. So it's a different type of offense that you're looking at. Now, I will say I definitely thought there'd be higher volume for Dalton Kincaid, but hey, that'll come. That'll come in time. I still think the 100-catch season is well in front of us, and it's going to happen. But, overall, I was very, very happy. 34 points. How can you not be happy with that? I mean, it's a hell of a performance. Opening day. Come on.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yes, Dennis. Here's the thing. We fell behind and fought back, and we all said, let's just get a win. Ugly or not, don't really care. It's week 1, trying to work out the, the kinks there. But, Sean, I'm going to throw it to you because, there's been a lot of talk about this Bills O-line with the change at center, with David Edwards moving to left guard. Talk to me about what we saw from the O-line today.
Very undisciplined. I was disappointed with that. We lost a touchdown because of Torrance. That third down near the end of the game, Torrance blew his assignment, and we had to go for it on 4th down. That was a big play. Spencer Brown got blown up on that one time that Josh got sacked. Luckily, they called roughing the passer when it shouldn't have been. So we got away with a few things, and we'll be talking about that more when we do the film. But overall, they were dominant in the run game for the most part. Like Jake said, near the end of the game, James Cook kind of didn't do as strong as he did in the first half. Part of that was because of the O-line. But at the end of the day, it was just mainly because Joe Brady was just being predictable with his play calling, and can't really blame the O-line for that. And, like Jake said, overall, just getting the ball around to a bunch of playmakers, Mac Hollins catching the first touchdown pass. Who would have saw that coming? So, it was pretty cool to see everybody getting the ball. And then, like Big Al says, I told everyone in the beginning of the year, special teams is going to lose us some games this year, and it almost lost us this one with kicking the ball, giving them at the 40 with 2 minutes left, and then giving up a return touchdown after Josh Allen just leaps and gets a big touchdown for us to put us up by 11. So things to work on, but like we said, we got the win, and being down 17-3 looked pretty bleak, but the guys fought hard, and they didn't waver and won the game.
Yeah. Brett, I know like yesterday on the Ruthless show, you guys were asking who's going to catch the first pass. Was it Mac Hollins who caught the first pass? Remember?
I believe it was Mac Hollins that caught the first pass.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And the first touchdown too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was when you guys you even called that, so that's pretty cool. We got some people ready to fire folks after this victory. We'll talk to them in a little bit.
But
I want to throw it to you, Buffalo Barbie. I mean, you felt like this game, I think if I remember correctly, you thought this would be not an easy game, but that we should be able to, handle them easily. And we didn't. But what was your thoughts? I mean, what did you see? Was this what you were expecting? Talk to me.
I thought we would dominate. I thought we'd run the ball down their throats and it would be an easy game. But certain things got in the way. They kept on moving. Every drive except for one, they moved the ball. They moved the ball down in Arizona territory. The first one was the strips fumble that ended that drive. And then Torrance and his penalty ended that drive. So I think we were on the verge of dominating, but those things got in the way to start the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Jake and John, you've already touched on it. The offense was dominating. We were moving the ball. If you listen to Josh Allen's press conference, he said the same thing. They were moving the ball, a couple key mistakes. The refs came into play a couple times for each team. I thought on that first drive where they scored, that was not a rough in the passer, and then we got one back later in the game as well. But the offense moved the ball, couple key mistakes. And before I go, I'm gonna throw it to you, Brett. Your thoughts on the offensive side, and then we'll talk about what Zach and Big Al are talking about out there in the chat.
Well, first of all, I want to say hats off to Jonathan Gannon for getting his team ready to go for this game. They came prepared. They looked like a very good team that can move the ball down the field. And this team is not nearly the same team as they were last season with having Josh Dobbs out there. They're going to be a good team throughout the whole entire season, and they may surprise some people. On offense, I just felt like we were out of rhythm in the first half. It seemed like the preseason we should have played Josh Allen one more game early on, and that's why the rhythm of the offense was a little different. But Josh Allen, yes, he did play good in the first half, and he did look great in the game. But it just seemed like we were out of rhythm as a whole team. And we saw some boneheaded plays with the Osiris Torrens, Spencer Brown, as we mentioned. But I got to say, for week one, you're going to see that type of stuff. And this is nowhere near the type of performance that Sean McDermott wants. We're coming off of this game going into a short week, and we need to be a lot better against the Miami Dolphins if we're going to win that game. This is nowhere near the performance that we need to have against the Dolphins. We will lose by over 20 points if we perform like we did today. This is just not acceptable, but a lot of stuff that we can clean up that I think is just coaching mistakes, number one, mental mistakes, and self-inflicted wounds that we saw. But I loved what I saw from Josh Allen. I loved what I saw slinging the rock to 9 different receivers, as I mentioned in the pregame show. It's something that we needed to do is move the ball around to different players. And I just think that if we can continue this throughout the season and just not have the pressure of throwing it to one different receiver in the game, it's going to make Josh Allen play 3, and we're going to have a very good year this year.
Yeah, I love that, Brett. Yeah, Keith, I mean, I heard you guys on the on your pick show and also on the summit, and you guys kind of nailed it. I also did not think this was going to be a blowout. I thought this would be a close matchup, and it was. I mean, you can't count anyone out. Week 1, we were burned a few years back with Pittsburgh, and ever since that happened, I mean,
how about last year, Mike? We scored 16 points against the Jets last year. We got
that's right.
Taken advantage of on a special teams play in the last play of the game.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, so you just can never overlook week 1. Teams are still working things out. But one thing, Jake, Marvin Harrison, look, the dude's too good to go to the combine. I'm too good. I don't need to go to the combine. He gets drafted by Arizona. They play him 3 snaps in preseason. He had 3 targets today?
Yeah.
It was absolutely
1 drop, 1 catch for 4 yards.
Yeah, 3 targets, 1 for 4. Now they had him wide open later in the game.
They did.
If Murray had seen him, and the announcers were saying this is a time to dial up your youngster here. But I mean, he's been treated like he's a vet. He's going to be a top 3 wide receiver. What'd you see today? What happened? I mean, it looked nervous out there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Keon Coleman looked better than Marvin Harrison today. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
I mean, he was confident. He caught the ball well. And I know I didn't try to make this into a Keon Coleman conversation, but I'm just saying, I mean, when you look at the two, kind of crazy, right? I mean, you expect Marvin Harrison to be this all-world guy, go out, have 100 yards his first game. I think a lot of people took him early in their fantasy football drafts, anticipating him to be the next Larry Fitzgerald, right? And it just didn't show today. He's got some time. He's a rookie, right? First game, take this, learn from it. He'll be fine. But definitely a disappointing intro for him to the Arizona Cardinals organization, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely surprising at his production. And also, this is just another thing for me as well. Like during preseason, the Bills didn't do much on offense, and I think it showed. That first half showed. Like, I mean, there was nothing. Let's be real. There's nothing special we threw out there offense. People talking about, oh, we don't want to show our hands until game day, week 1. Was there anything special? Not really. Come on now, work it out there in the preseason a little bit. But I want to go over here. Zach, you've been waiting long enough. It's good to see you out there. I love when Zach comes in. He doesn't come in often, but when he does, he's mad about something. And he's already saying fire McDermott. And
he was there with me today. I should say he was there with me today. So I was with my brother. It was the in-law day. It was my brother-in-law, my future sister-in-law, and my mother-in-law. And it was, I'll tell you what, we get rowdy. Like this is our 4th game together. 4th game with myself, my brother-in-law, and my mother-in-law at least. Future sister-in-law just added into the mix. We're going to make this a thing every year, probably go to the opener, right? And let me tell you, he was sitting next to me the entire time, and I agree with him on this field goal thing. Like, I was pissed that they kicked the field goal because then to follow that, of course, Tyler Bass hits it, right? It's still a 1-score game regardless. But the problem was after the fact, you're kicking into the wind. A lot of those balls were just dying down. We were hitting corkscrew kicks here, and this kick goes out of bounds. So the Cardinals start with the ball at the 40-yard line. So it's a 1-score game regardless, right? You have 4th and 3. You have a superhuman in Josh Allen, who I know, you got stopped short on that 3rd down. But the offense was humming at that point. Like, we were confidently chipping away at the Cardinals there. Why not go for it? We're at the 21-yard line. Rather than the Cardinals starting at their 40-yard line, instead, God forbid Tyler Bass, or we didn't get the first down, Cardinals start deeper in their own territory. So I'm 100% with him on this. Did not like that call whatsoever. Hated it.
Now, Sean, in the group chat, Sean was saying the same thing. Right, Sean, I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, boys. By the way, I was totally out of pocket with my phone today. Like, no connection. I tried to send texts. Couldn't even do it.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I kind of know that you don't get good reception there, depending on where you are. But Sean, you were screaming for the same thing. Talk to me, man. Somebody's got some fun.
Sorry.
Check, phone check. Turn those phones off.
Ken checking you out, making sure you're doing okay.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, talk to us, man.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, the exact same thing actually, because it was a pretty easy kick for Bass. So it's if you make it, they got less than 2 minutes to get a touchdown, and then they got 3 timeouts, they can do whatever they want, call whatever kind of play they want, and then like Jake said, you got to kick it into the wind. So I didn't know it was going to go out of bounds, but I had a feeling there was going to be a hefty return. I said they're going to get it at the 50. They ended up getting it at the 40, and then now you got 60 yards with 2 minutes. And we saw what Kyler Murray did to us 4 years ago in less time than that with 50 yards to go. So I was like, I'm not really trusting this defense. I know they came alive near the end, but, I always want the offense to be the last people to make a difference in the game, because I never can trust this defense to make the biggest play at the end. And we ended up winning. But I thought that should have been a pass interference. I thought we got away with that, which I was lucky for. But again, I only saw it one time. Obviously the ref thought differently, so I'm happy about that. But I want that to be the situation where if that was a pass interference, they get the ball at the 5 with 1 play left to get. Kyler Murray can run the ball, scramble, do whatever he wants, and then he would have lost that game. So definitely in agreement with that. I would have rather went for it because they had to get a touchdown regardless at that point. Unless we did score a touchdown, then it was impossible for them to win probably. So, but at the end of the day, it worked out for us, and grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, Bass, at least kick it in the middle. Like, come on, kick it over to the left. That was with the wind blowing, that was going to go out. And I don't think either kicker was reaching the end zone when they were going into the wind. You saw that a couple times. But Jessica, what's your thoughts here? They're calling from McDermott's head already. What do you think on that?
I think it was a solid call, plain and simple. The defense held them to 3 points in the second half. Nothing more than that.
Sure.
Other than the return, 3 points. And they had Kyle Murray, and they knew what they were doing, and they adjusted halftime, and they couldn't score against us. So I thought McDermott's choice was a good one.
All right. Brett, what'd you think?
Was I upset? No. I agree with Jessica. I think that it's a smart decision, put points on the board. We had the momentum going throughout the second half. You just got to put points on the board and just put the momentum over to the Arizona Cardinals, make them have to make some plays. And our defense was playing very well. I felt like Greg Rousseau was making some big plays, and we were just looking for stops. And that's what we wanted. And yeah, it may have been the wrong decision for some people to think about, but make them go down the field and make them have to make plays.
I guess if I was going to be
I do want to say,
go ahead.
To what Jessica said and what Brett's saying here, you guys make a good point. I mean, the defense in the second half, the adjustments, something we really have not seen in the McDermott era, making those adjustments. I mean, dare I say, it was almost like Steve Spagnuolo-esque, right? How he makes adjustments in the second half. Not quite yet, but nice sign for the future, right? I mean, I don't know if that's all Babbage. I'm sure it was a combination of Babbage and McDermott, but it was very nice to see. Yeah, the defense was a totally different unit in the second half than they were in the first half. So that is a fair point. I can definitely see what your reasoning is with that.
I agree to a point, but then don't you think the offense was still playing better than the defense though today? So wouldn't you? That's why I would say I'd rather have the opportunity to just end the game there with a touchdown or get the first down, run the clock out, and it's over. But again, this is all just semantics now because it worked out the way that the opposite way that we thought would have worked better, and we got the win. So, pretty good.
Yeah, I guess if I'm the tiebreaker here, and if it's easy to think about it after the fact, but like you guys mentioned, we knew we were going to kick into the win, right? So if we make that field goal, that was no gimme. Trust me, with that wind blowing like that. If we make that field goal, we're going to be kicking in the win, and they're going to probably get a good return. I did not think Bass would kick it out of bounds. I mean, come on, but he does. So you get it at the 40-yard line. Defense had been playing well. I was siding with the going for it, but I'd probably take the points as well.
The other thing I do want to add to that, Mike, is right now in the preseason, Tyler Bass was struggling mightily. And this was more of a confidence booster for him. We really wanted to see if he could make those kicks in the big moments, and he did. And even though he did kick the ball out of bounds, don't get me wrong, you have one extreme to another extreme with Tyler Bass in those situations. I felt like this was the right decision just to see what type of performance you would see from Tyler Bass there in those moments.
I will say this too. Sorry, Sean, real quick. I will say this. Tyler Bass's body language, what a world of a difference. Like, he did look confident today. So that was definitely, to your point, for sure. You could feel it. You could tell. Even in warm-ups, I mean, he was nailing long field goals into the wind. He looked confident. He was setting up better. It just looked better. So that was definitely encouraging. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, and if you watched the show yesterday night, Jake, I said Tyler Bass is going to have his best year as a pro. So I think he tuned into the show and he got the little beat of confidence. But I love that. This is my last time trying to sway you, Mike, and then I'll give up. If we went for the field goal and we made it, and then they got a touchdown and won the game 35-34, wouldn't you have then said we should have just went for it because they would have had to score a touchdown anyway?
The only other thing, Sean, I didn't say, which I was thinking, is if we don't take the points, we go for it. So the odds, like, we go for it. You guys are all saying we're moving the ball. Let's say we don't make it, right? Or Bass misses that kick. They only need a field goal to tie us. I like having the 6 points. They only need a field goal to tie us. And then who knows what's going to happen. I mean, anything can happen in overtime. So, yes, of course, Sean. I'd be playing Monday, Monday armchair quarterback and saying, what the hell? Why didn't we? I said that in the Chiefs game last year. We should have gone for it. We should have never put the hand in Tyler Bass's foot. Another put the game in Tyler Bass's foot. Should have had Josh Allen, the ball in his hand, going for it on 3rd and 9. And then, like you said, we get that first down. We bleed out the clock. Game over. Bills win.
It could have happened like that still. It was just the play call had to be a run play. We had a couple seconds left before the 2-minute warning. You knew they weren't going to call a timeout. You wanted to bleed the clock as much as you could, so you knew they were going to run on 3rd and 3, and they sniffed it out. But at the end of the day, don't matter because Tyler Bass was money. He's on the track to be 100% for the year. So
love it, Sean. Love it.
By the way, let me correct myself here. The Bills didn't need to go score last year. They needed to score, but don't go for the tie. Go for the win. Brett, you had something to say real quick?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll be the first one to admit when that ball was in the air for Kyler Murray and off of that blitz, I saw that ball in the air and I'm thinking, oh my God, if this is another Hail Murray type situation.
Dude, I thought he caught it. I thought Greg Dortch caught that at first. Really? I was like, oh my gosh.
I did too.
Where I was looking.
I thought the ball was going to be down at the 1, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be pass interference at the 1. They get the ball there, and then they're going to score. I'm thinking, this is going to be the second time in a row that we lose to the Arizona Cardinals on a thriller at the end. I'll tell you right now, and Stefan put it in the chat, my heart in my chest during the game was going crazy, and I didn't sleep a wink last night. Before that, we had a little bit of a situation over here in my neighborhood, and I slept about maybe 2 hours last night. I thought he caught that ball, and it was going crazy. I'm like, this is going to be another situation, and thank God we got out of here with a win. That's the biggest thing, and we're 1-0. That's the biggest goal that we want to have is we want to have momentum going into the Miami Dolphins game.
Hey, shout out to the young cat, Greg Dortch, by the way. 5'7", $175, undrafted kid, worked his way up, and he's found a nice spot in Arizona. So shout out to him. He played his ass off today. He really showed up for them when they needed him to. So, yeah, want to give him his flowers, definitely.
Jessica, I had one issue with the offense. I felt like they became too predictable. First down runs were just killing me at the towards the end of the game. First down runs. Josh was starting to get in a groove. The passing game was starting to get in a groove. Yet they kept trying to run the ball. And the Cardinals made the adjustment as well in the second half. They started shutting that down. That was the only issue I had. But did Brady, was it too predictable for you? I mean, you can't do that. I mean, I kept screaming in our group chat. can you please give me one play action pass on first down? Just one play action, and you're gonna beat that team. And yet they kept running the ball. What were your thoughts on that?
Every team does what Brady does. When you have a lead late, you want to run out that clock. And so you're running first down, second down, and then you put in Josh Allen's hand to move the ball for another first down. The purpose of what Brady did and predictability was to shorten the game so that the Cardinals didn't have more opportunities to score. At least that's my opinion. And so you weigh against the predictability against trying to run out the clock. And every team knows that you're wanting to run the ball so that you don't have an incomplete pass and it stops the clock. So that's why I think it was predictable. Every team is predictable in that situation.
Yeah. I only think, though, I mean, it wasn't like we only needed to get one first down. We needed first downs. And every time, we were trying to run a first down, they'd stop us for a 2-yard loss, 3-yard loss, 4-yard loss. Next thing you know, you're in 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. Everything was
but
so
the clock
difficult.
kept on running. The clock kept on running.
Well, I don't know. They had 3 timeouts with 2 minutes to go, so I don't know how much that really helped. They had plenty of time. So my only point there was, they had adjusted just like we had adjusted. They were shutting it down. It seemed like everything we were doing was making it difficult. And yes, Josh Allen has to put on the cape and make something happen. Like, I don't know, go in shotgun, and if you really want to, still run, but just run. I mean, he was doing that. Don't want to see that. But that was my only take. I don't know. Brett, you seem to agree with Jessica. Sean, what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, it's not even, again, nothing wrong with running on first down, but it was the same concept every time. The zone run up the middle. If you want to throw in a jet sweep, let Curtis Samuel take one, fake jet sweeps and then run option with Allen and Cook. Just do something different than the same run play every time on first down, because then you're still running the ball, running out the clock, but then you're not being – now they're going to have to pay attention. Oh, when they run the motion and Samuel comes across Josh Allen's body, is he going to get the ball or is it just motion? So then they're not just pinning their ears back and ready to stuff the run. But yeah, to their point, to Brett and Jessica's point, I get the running the clock out, but Brady could have been a little bit more methodical in his play design with the runs that he called. And again, at the end of the day, it just seemed every time we were about to run, they were ready for it. And then, like you said, Mike, you get in a 2nd and 12 and obvious pass situation because you want to get first downs. And then, luckily we were able to make some big plays in the end. But hopefully next week, because Miami got gashed in the run as well, we're able to do a few more different things in the run and maybe even throw Curtis Samuel some jet sweeps or end arounds or just something different where Miami might not be expecting it.
Or even quick screens. That's another area. I like what I saw.
Just craving one of those.
Yeah. Throw in a couple of those and sprinkle it in with Curtis Samuel, sprinkle it in with Khalil Shakir, because I'll tell you what, Shakir on that run play or the pass play, the run that he did, and just to be able to utilize his body and stay up. That kid is looking incredible. And shout out to Eric Moulds for what he's done in the offseason to get him ready for the season. He's looking a lot like Eric Moulds. I'm going to tell you that right now. If he can be an Eric Moulds, it's going to be incredible for the Bills.
Hey, shout out to you must be reading my neighbor's mind. He just texted me, Brett. Shout out to Bill Gallardo. He first off said, a lot of caffeine being consumed on this podcast. 1030 Celsius is dangerous. You know what, Bill? Doesn't even affect me. It's in my veins regardless. This is just substance right now. We're just drinking. It's better than drinking a beer right now. That's all I got to say as far as calories go. But he did say, can we get a standing O for Shakir making plays today? That guy, he's special, man. He's special. Would love to see him get the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought he would get a little bit more. But he's like a pinball, guys. I don't know how he does it. Like, he bounces off people. He's body surfing to get that touchdown was just incredible. He's right on that guy body surfing. But he did it last year too. He just bounces off of people, retains his balance, and then moves forward. It is something special. You would say you might only see one of those in a season. No, this guy does it on a regular basis. It's becoming a common thing. So good stuff there.
Have you seen his new vehicle that he has for the 2024 season?
No.
No.
It's parked across the street at the where they're building the stadium and everything. There's a nice bulldozer that's right next to where they're setting up the stadium. That's Khalil Shakir's car.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
No.
I wouldn't doubt it though. You know?
I'm just saying. I mean,
we got some quirky players on this team, man. I could see it. Khalil Shakir, very interesting human being, man. Very interesting human being.
He's a bulldozer. I'll tell you that right now. Obviously, I'm kidding when I say that, but I mean, he looks like a bulldozer out there on the field. And it's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex out there just trying to make big plays, and doesn't matter who's covering him. He's going to have an incredible season, I'll tell you that.
For sure.
I want to say hi to Trek Reviewer. I'm glad you're here. I hope you stick around for Game Balls, Trek Reviewer. I think you need to eat some of your words, especially for this game, but hang around to the end and when we give out some Game Balls. We're going to flip it around now. We're going to go to the defensive side, and because, Brett, we went to you last on the offensive side, we're going to go to you first. Talk to me about what you saw in this defense, a tale of two halves.
Yeah, let's talk about the first half for the Bills as a defense. They were getting shredded up until when it was 17-3, and Greg Russo got that strip sack. It was just a play where I'm looking at it, and I want to real quick go to the chat real fast because we did have our first super chat of the day coming in.
Tom.
From Tom.
Thank
Appreciate
you
coming in.
Thank you, sir.
The man. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate
But
you
yeah,
back.
like I said, tale of two halves, and just what we saw up until that moment. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals did a very good job of utilizing James Conner, getting him the ball early on in the game. And then you saw Kyler Murray and the Bills defense not being able to contain him in the pocket. And I mentioned it in the pregame show. We had to contain Kyler Murray, and we saw him get outside the pocket, utilizing his legs. And when you do that, the offense becomes two-dimensional and three-dimensional, where you have to worry about Kyler Murray's legs. You have to worry about James Conner. You have to worry about Kyler Murray's arm, where he can throw the ball deep down the field. If we were able to just stop one of those areas and get third and longs, which we saw in the second half, then Kyler Murray becomes more less comfortable in the pocket, I should say. And that's where you start to see some throws and some errant throws that he makes. Got to say, man, I mean, the pressure that we saw in the second half and the difference that we saw from the Bills defense getting to the quarterback, it was incredible. Seeing guys like Von Miller get his first sack after a year of not having sacks, the pressure that we got from the safeties as well as the cornerbacks coming in to just have blitzes where not only the defensive line comes in, it was incredible to see. So I'm very thrilled with the second half performance, but we got to do that early on in the game against the Miami Dolphins. Like I mentioned, can't have that performance that we saw in the first half. We got to come out strong and get to the quarterback and get pressure on Tua in this next game.
All right, I love that, Brett. So we're going in reverse order this time. By the way, Big Al, how about the giveaway? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jake, let's talk about it. Do you have a sample of the shirt?
Let's talk about it. I do.
Yeah,
I have it right here.
All right.
I'm glad you mentioned it, Dad. By the way, shout out to Big Al for the donations and making this giveaway possible. Big Stitching Embroidery, my cousin, Johnny, had started this company, also one of our sponsors, as you can see in the bottom there. Does some great work, and he made us these Nickel City Mafia polos. So we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to give one of these away each week, and we're going to kind of switch it up with how we do it. Thought we were going to go maybe with the wheel. Mike, I can't even activate this wheel. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to do a little giveaway tonight. I think it's time.
Yeah, I can do the wheel on my side, I think.
Okay.
I think I forgot completely that I said let's use some type of word that somebody has to say.
Yeah.
Why don't you start taking, listing some names here? By the way, if you're interested, not everyone here is a Bills fan, but I hope that you're a Nickel City Mafia fan. So if you want one of those wonderful shirts, let us know that you want to be in for it. And at the end of the show, we'll bring up the Wheel of Fortune, put some names on it, and spin to see who wins that.
I think
shirt.
Tom automatically gets in because he already did a super chat.
Tom's in,
we got to throw him in, right?
Tom's won a lot of things here before. I
Yes.
think last year on the Holiday Spectacular, he won something there, and he actually won. I think we were doing a giveaway for Big Stitch, right?
Mhm.
And embroidery.
Yeah, he did.
Won
Yes.
that, and he purchased some things, and I think he sent it our way. So good stuff there. Yeah, I
Tom,
remember
we
you
appreciate
sent
you,
us the
man.
hats. Yeah, Tom, it's
Yeah.
been a while, man. You've been one of the originals, the OGs, supporting the channel here, and no, you took a little break, but it's always good to see you back, man.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. So we'll be talking. So if you're in, yeah, I mean, if you're
Tom's
in,
definitely in.
all right.
Weston, look at that. How about it, Mike? Can that be my first Bill shirt? Yeah, you know what? We'll ease you in because it's not exactly Bills, but it is a Bills show. So just kind of ease you in, Weston.
Yeah,
1A,
definitely.
1B type situation for you. I love that.
And yeah, so Jake, you start taking the list, and then we'll bring up that wheel a little bit later.
Okay.
So let's go back to Jessica, going in reverse order here. Your thoughts on the defense today?
I thought the defense needs to come together much more than it was. The weakness of the Bills' defense is up the middle right now, especially when Taron Johnson got knocked out. Dorian Williams, the two safeties, both are new and are feeling each other out in a real game. As soon as they get that figured out, I think this defense is going to be fantastic. But right now it isn't. And I think the adjustment at halftime helped. Cam Lewis was a superstar coming in for Taron. Really steadied the Bills defense.
Did you guys see that update too from Sal Capaccio? I think it was Sal Capaccio. He was saying that Cam was supposed to play the extra dime safety today.
Yep.
But because of the injury, he was switched into nickel, and that's why Jamarcus Ingram, thank God he was active, but that's why Jamarcus Ingram was out there on that last play. Obviously made a huge play there to break up the pass with Greg Dortch. Crazy.
Jessica, can you repeat what you just said about Cam Lewis? Like,
he was fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Check reviewer, fantastic. Check reviewers out there. Like, damn it, Mike. For anyone that doesn't know, Trek Reviewer and I have a little thing going on. He always tells me, I'm a Cam Lewis, a big fan of Cam Lewis supporter, and Trek Reviewer is not. He's always saying, cut Cam. Well, glad we had him today, guys. Glad we had him.
Mike, I'll tell you real quick. I saw this thing on Instagram, and you'll be glad to see it. But there's a couple of different memes that they put out there. One of them was a little video of Cam Lewis, and they said Cam Lewis's performance against the Cardinals, and it was a video of Darrelle Revis, and it pretty much said that he was playing like Darrelle Revis, and having a Hall of Fame game. And I'll tell you what, he played fantastic though, and shout out to Cam. And it's not going to be his cut Cam season; it's going to be his cut Cam MVP season, is how we're going to say it.
All right, awesome. Over to you, Sean. Defensive side of things. What'd you see?
Well, unfortunately, the same issues I've seen since 2017. Can't stop the run, give up almost every third and long, and can't tackle well. And, people say it's week 1, but this is year 8. This is year 8 of not tackling well and not stopping the run and not being able to stop third and longs. And third and long is like a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. I know it's not as long, but you got to make those stops. And it's just so frustrating because it's every single time. And you would think by now we'd be able to figure that kind of thing out. And but as Jessica mentioned later on in the game, and as Brett mentioned as well, they really came to play. And Greg Rousseau, absolutely phenomenal game. This is what I've been wanting to see from him, and what everyone thought they've already seen from him in years 1, 2, and 3. Now he's finally putting it all together. He had a lot of great run stops, and he made some big that strip sack. That was a momentum changer, and phenomenal game for him. Seemed, I'll have to rewatch it again, but seemed kind of quiet from the D tackles. I didn't see as Ed Oliver type game as we did all the year last year. Daquan Jones had a good pass breakup, and that was another key. It was the last drive of the game. But other than that, they got no pressure in the beginning. We kept trying to send the blitz, and they weren't getting home. So you couldn't get home with the 4-man rush, and the blitz wasn't getting home. Kyler Murray was dicing us up, and then at the end of the day, we had a really hard time trying to keep him in the pocket, bring him down, and make stops. So it was nice to see adjustments in the second half. but still, it's this defense is a concern until it's not. We're playing against a team this Thursday who can, as you saw today, score an 80-yard touchdown in a millisecond. So, and they have amazing running backs, and they got 2 speedy receivers. So if we don't have Teron Johnson and we're playing defense like we did in that first half, we're going to have to score like 40 points if we want to win this game. So loved what I saw in the second half. I'm curious to see if McDermott took over play calling or at least had more of an influence on it. But it seemed like it was 2 totally different teams. And again, Greg Rousseau led that defense, and now he just needs to compound those and not, he doesn't have to get 3 sacks every week, but be an impactful player and a game changer. And then Von Miller, the closer, that was a huge sack near the end of the game. So good to see.
Yeah, Jake, Von Miller, I mean, Groot looked fantastic, but Von Miller was good to see what he was doing out there. He was pretty much bullying that tackle anytime he was in there, pushing him back, getting the pressure, and of course that big sack that happened. But your thoughts on the defense, my friend?
Yeah, first half was a little rough, and I agree. I think the interior definitely struggled. There wasn't a whole lot of splash from the interior outside of the pass deflection from Daquan Jones. Again, the neighbor Bill, shout out to you, sir. Reading our minds over here, he hits me up and he says Big Ed needed to be louder today. Absolutely, didn't really make a whole lot of plays. It's like this guy, top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL. You got to be out. You got to be. I mean, especially against this offensive line. No disrespect to the Cardinals' offensive line. I feel like this was a game where he could have really showcased and just been better, just done more things, and it just wasn't happening. We were getting gashed up the middle all day. So yeah, I hope this Dolphins game, we can rectify that. And I know Keith is probably feeling some type of way about that offensive line in general. So, hey. Thursday, baby. It's a new day. It's another week. Here we go. But overall, defense, I think it really was like a next man up type of mentality. How about Dorian Williams? Shout out to my boy Dorian Williams, finally making some plays today. Nice fumble recovery for him. He was flying across the field today. Terrell Bernard led the team in tackles. Taylor Rapp had some nice plays. I thought DeMar Hamlin was okay too. This is a guy that literally died on the field. Had to take some time last year to get his footing, figure things out a little bit, get comfortable with the game again. And I felt like he was definitely confident out there. So definitely encouraging to see. The defense, yeah, I'm a little worried. And I agree. I mean, next week it could be a matter of just an absolute shootout where we have to go 40-40 between us and the Dolphins. So we'll see, man. But I was going to say, too, it's crazy. Von Miller today, 2 tackles and a sack. Last year, 3 total tackles on the year, no sacks. So already well on pace to outdo his numbers from last season. Great to see.
Safeties were our biggest concern, it seemed like, before the game, or the majority of fans' concerns, and they were the least bit of the problem today, it seems. So I guess that's good and bad because you're anticipating that this isn't going to be typical for our front 7 where they're getting gashed constantly, but hopefully it's not a recurring event.
Yeah, Jake, what did you think about our guy, AJ Epinesa?
Epi, I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of him. I got to go back and watch the All-22. To me, I saw him out there a little bit. It was okay. Didn't wow me or anything like that. It was the Groot show today, plain and simple. I was very upset that Dwayne Smoot was out for this game. And I do want to give some respect to Casey Toohill because I wasn't super confident with him because he didn't really play at all during preseason. Like he's played in the league for a few years here, but didn't really know what to expect from him. Made a big special teams tackle, and I thought he held his own when he was in there. So shout out to Casey Toohill.
When I saw the 99 out there on the field, I was thinking of I kept thinking of Trent Murphy out there. And even though he didn't wear 99, I was looking at it and I'm like, Washington Commanders, played for both teams and everything. I'm like, and he looks a lot like Trent Murphy, and he played like Trent Murphy too.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me just last throw it to you, Sean, because I want to ask you about you. Because Jake, like you said, you didn't watch you watched the game, but you don't have the greatest angle sometimes in that end zone. Whereas Sean, you're watching the game. I know AJ Epinesa had that one nice pressure where he was, on Murray and was able to get that ball to be an incomplete pass. But what's your thoughts? I thought he was a little quiet. And the reason I'm asking this, I have big expectations from him because it's apparent that Von Miller is going to be that specialty third down pass rusher, although he came in other passing downs as well. But I feel like Epinesa is that starting guy, or should be. And I don't know. I didn't see enough of him today. What'd you say?
Yeah, it was a little quiet, and again, minus the one sack from Von Miller and the bevy of sacks from Groot near the end. Everybody was kind of quiet on the defensive line. I want to say, and I didn't notice it at first, but as much as I wasn't high on Jonah Williams, it seemed after Jonah Williams got out with an injury, that's when we started to really tear apart the offensive line when Kelvin Beachum got out there. Again, he was a starter last year, so it's not a knock on our guys, but we took advantage of an opportunity, which is what you want to see. But I want a collective, better effort from the front, not just one guy out of our 5 or 6 rotation playing well. So Epinesa, he does okay. He did okay today. We'll have to rewatch it again, but I think it's tough to try to rush the passer, but keep the passer in the pocket at the same time, because you want to get the sack, but then when you're trying to barrel down on him, he can go around you. So, it's a very difficult thing to do, and that's why I think they really struggled with it in the beginning. But I think this week, when you're playing a team like the Dolphins, where Tua's not going to be as willing to run, you might see, if you could take away the first read, you'll be able to see us rush the passer a little bit better than this week. But again, AJ, he's not a superstar, but he flashes. So maybe next week he'll be one of those weeks where he flashes. I was a little bit disappointed though.
Yeah, good point. First of all, Chad the Chief, thank you so much. You come in here, you're a Chiefs fan, you and Weston. We love you guys. You're part of the family, and you support the channel. Every Sunday, it feels like rush hour. You come in and give us some love with the super chat. So we greatly appreciate that, Chad. We really do. What was I going to say here? Oh, his question. Happy we won on Thursday. Did not watch the game, but listen to it. Can't take a chance when chasing a three-peat. Haha. Now, little story about Chad the Chief. He's very superstitious. He does not watch any games. He's a Chiefs fan, but he will not watch the Chiefs games. He'll only listen to them on the radio. And, I used to have a weird thing like that, but it was the Buffalo Sabres. I felt like if I watched them, they'd lose. If I listened to them on the side or just didn't even watch the game, I'm like, if I watch, they're going to do bad. If I just get updates throughout the game, they'll win. So I had that little superstition. But funny story about Chad. And again, Chad, thank you so much for bringing that to us.
Well, it seems to be working. So we got to get you to – what's your price to watch a game?
Right?
Watch a playoff game.
Let's save that to the playoffs, right, Chad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean, we'll all chip in. We'll get you to watch. Or maybe we just have somebody go kidnap him and grab him and force him in front of a TV.
Time up. Make him watch it. Yeah.
Check reviewer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
We were, I'll throw this to Sean at first because both him and I were pretty upset. I don't know about the rest of you. Like trading with the Jets. Now, look, he had a good return and he handled a punt return. He handled a punt, which was difficult today. That ball was moving. Sean, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, he was electric. The main reason I didn't like the trade again is because they were going to release him, and we would have got him for free anyway. So, more than likely, someone else could have probably picked him up, but I had a feeling like not many people were privy to him, so probably could have got him. But at the end of the day, he's on the team now, and we won't know the return until 2 years from now. So we'll have to circle back. But that one play was amazing when you have to force the other special teams unit with this new kickoff to not kick it to you and just give you the ball at the 30 every time. That's a huge advantage, and that's what happened with that return. Unfortunately, with that big return, I think that was a drive where Josh held the ball for 55 years and got sack fumbled. But that's a game-changing play, and that's what I like the most about special teams is you get one or two of those plays in a game or once in a while, and it can change everything. And it looked like it was going to. Unfortunately, we didn't capitalize on it. But now we know, and now the other teams know. Should we kick it to this guy? I don't know. And then getting the ball at the 30 every time, that's a good average. I'll take it.
Yeah. Doggone it says a female on the show. Hell yeah. Yes. Jessica Tennis, she supports all Bills podcasters. I see her on every show out there in the chat. She's been on our chat, and we were just trying to get her to come on our show and worked out the contract. She finally signed the dotted line. Here she is. Yeah,
millions and millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars, lots of guaranteed money too. We had to come up with some big guaranteed money. The most Nickel City Mafia's ever come up with.
Huge.
It's time for my renegotiations.
Yeah.
Let's since we're talking about special teams, let's pivot. And Jessica, I'll go to you talking about the special teams and new kickoff rule today. Got one taken to the house on us. Talk to me, because I saw Big L calling for Smiley's head earlier on. And I know a lot of people were saying that last year for special teams. But what's your thoughts on the special teams?
I'm not a fan of Smiley. I haven't been a fan of Smiley for 2 years now. Really think they should replace him. I'm wondering if he has naughty photos of Bean or McDermott somewhere.
Got it, right? I mean,
he's got something on him.
Brandon out of NC Central did a fantastic job. I'm glad we traded for him to make sure that we got him, so that there was no question about who was doing our kickoff. To swap a 6 and a 7 for him is basically meaningless since we have so many picks next year. But this is going to take some time to learn with this new kickoff, and eventually everybody's going to understand what they need to do. And what teams I think are going to try to do is overload one side or another and just return kicks that way. But special teams, what's most important is what Tyler Bass did today, making all the field goals, all the extra points. That was the most important thing special teams could have done today.
Yeah, Jake, you were there. I mean, you know how windy it was. Obviously, we just talked about the kick returner there being able to field the punt, but Tyler Bass, I don't feel like any kickers really struggled. They all made nice adjustments, but just how windy was it there?
It was windy as hell. Let me tell you, it was very, very windy today. I got some windburn, not just sunburn. This is windburn on my face here, Mike. That stadium, it's just different. The way it's built, like it all goes in the center of that field too, and it's just like it's a freaking hurricane in the middle of that field at times. It's wild. And when the kickers were kicking the one direction, you could see. I mean, there was just a corkscrew of a ball going, and then when it was up in the air, it would just die. So we saw it happen with Matt Prater on the one kickoff where it didn't even hit the landing zone. And it was pretty wild. Pretty wild.
First time I had seen that. It feels like, again, the few, like, I watched the Bills game, I watched the Thursday night game. It feels like if they can kick it to the end zone, that's what most teams are going to do. They're like, let's just let them have it at the 30. And I feel like with weather coming in, that's going to change a lot of things. And it certainly did today, because Bass is kicking that in the end zone. We're not letting that guy take it to the house. But they just couldn't reach. That wind was so strong coming at them. Both the Bass and their kicker couldn't reach. And the one, like you said, he couldn't even reach the landing zone the one time.
Yeah, right.
First time I've seen that hit prior to the 20-yard line. I'm sure it happened a few times, but again, I only saw a few games. Doggone, it says 4 bad-looking dudes and a Barbie. Love that.
How about
it?
By the way, let's talk about this, Jessica. Little alter ego for you. First, you go by Tennis, Jessica Tennis. Now you're Buffalo Barbie, which is unique, and I love it. I'm here for it. Let's embrace it, baby.
I want to have fun with this. If I'm going to do this, it's 10 o'clock at night. I need something to get me going so that I'm enjoying myself.
Absolutely.
I think he meant to say, because obviously in the message underneath he says 4 cans. So I think he's trying to say 4 cans and a Barbie out here.
I'm like, Kendrick Lamar? Or is it? By the way, Super Bowl halftime show, Kendrick Lamar officially.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
There we go. 3 Kendrick, 1 Josh Allen in the top right, and a Barbie.
Someone did call me Josh Allen today. I was called Josh Allen today. Yep. Again? I'm just going to say the streak continues.
Yes.
I'm going to have to tell you, they're like, hey, you're wearing the wrong. I was wearing my Gilliam jersey today. He's like, you're wearing the wrong jersey. I thought you were Josh Allen for a second. I'm like, Walmart version at best, but I will take that all day and run with it. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
If you were Bill's bunker and had his height and everything, and man, you would look a lot like him.
Yeah,
dude. Shout out to Bill's bunker, by the way. We met up today. He tried to do an interview with me, but I guess his audio cut off. So maybe the next time he's in town. But he was grinding. So shout out to him. We'll have to get him back on. He wants to collab again at some point here. So
Very nice. Let's see here. Mad props to Jessica. You're doing a great job. Yes. I've heard nothing but glowing reviews on Jessica since she joined us. I think this is her third podcast with us. And I do love the Buffalo Barbie. So let's get into game balls. Each one of you has one game ball, and we'll start with the lady. Who's your game ball today?
Greg Rousseau.
Nice.
Definitely game ball. The Superman strip sack was amazing. It turned the entire game around, got us a good lead before they did the punt return, of course, or the kickoff return, of course. It put us in position to win that game.
Yeah. Talk about a gut punch, though. We go up. I'm feeling comfortable now. And I'm like, we kick it off and boom, right back. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Can we get any worse luck? But all right, game ball to Groot. We're going to go to Mr. Kula. Nobody cooler than Mr. Kula. Who's the game ball going to today, sir?
There's a certain defensive back that I'm just joking. Well, there's plenty of people well deserving, but I'm going to give it to Money Mac Attack Hollins for getting the first Buffalo Bills touchdown. Made two really good plays, and he was a beast on special teams too. So he's given 100% effort on both, and really good to see a guy like that be impactful game one for us. And again, I want to talk about what Jessica just mentioned about the return. And real quick, it has made me angry because it wasn't even like an athletic player. He was an overweight backup running back.
DJ Dallas. I know.
I saw him on the sideline. I'm like,
gross.
What the? Like, he should be playing defensive line, and we let him score a touchdown on us. What the hell? But yeah, Matt Collins, welcome to the team, and appreciate the energy. And then eating watermelon on the sideline after you score. You gotta keep those muscles hydrated. So I love that. Those
three. Did you see the interview? I think it was Khalil Shakir, it was Coleman, and it was Matt Collins, and they're being interviewed. It's over on the Bills.com. But they're family already. They're just having fun. They know they got to get the job done, but they're just all engaged, all supporting one another. They're not upset with who's catching more passes. Not yet, at least. We'll see if that continues. But no, it was very cool. And even on the sideline today, I see them talking. I'm like, why are you guys laughing? I was a little upset when we were losing. Why are you laughing? It's a serious thing. But no, they just get along so well, and they're just supporting one another. Matt Collins is fantastic. I was telling my son was like, I said, he doesn't like to wear shoes. And unless it's soup, actually, I don't even think with soup, he probably drinks right out of the cup, but he eats with his hands. You know this guy's, right? Yeah. Doesn't like to use silverware. I don't know. Maybe we got to try that one time. We'll come on the podcast. We'll pick some food. Well, with wings, we can do it, right? That's easy. But we'll pick something that's out of the norm, and we'll all just eat with our hands.
Hey, just get some buffalo wings.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's easy. We got to get something else.
How about like some rice or something like that, you know?
Ooh.
Something difficult.
Yeah, right.
Let's do it. Why not?
Mike, did you see this though? I saw a video of Matt Collins after the game, and he's in the locker room. Did you see what he was drinking in the locker room?
No. Coke? No, I know he's a healthy guy.
This is going to sound gross. So he took a water bottle, fills it up with water, and then puts M&Ms in it. And then says that he's going to have a chocolate water to drink. And he drinks the chocolate water. I've never seen somebody that's so ridiculous, but he fits Buffalo so well.
Yeah, he does.
It's just weird what he does, but I mean, I guess it's a trend. He's just different. And these guys are in the wide receiver room are just different. That's what I have to say about them. But
Yeah, they support each other. They're already just the chemistry is being built. It's a great thing to see. We'll see that
Unselfish
continue.
players.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I have to say.
100%. So Jake, the guy who looks like Josh Allen, I mean, I'm handing it to you. Who's getting the game ball? You know he's got to get it. So I think no one else should give it to him besides you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, this guy is Superman. What other quarterback in the NFL can go out and throw an 80-yard pass and then effortlessly hurdle another man? When he had that touchdown run today where he hurdled, and yeah, sure, he fell a little awkwardly and whatnot, but I looked out into the sky and I'm like, what other NFL quarterback or human being can do this? This man craves contact. The body craves contact, by the way. It's a great quote by Jim Harbaugh. You'll have to look it up. It's something about the body craving contact, talking about grit and everything, and it epitomizes who Josh Allen is. He is all Buffalo. He's the greatest thing that's ever happened to this franchise. And my gosh, today he was him. And I'll tell you what, I know Anthony in the Discord talking like, hey, he kind of just got out there and brought this limp dick offense. I'm sorry, apologize for my French. But he brought this offense out down the field and he did his thing, right? Sure. And if he has to do that every game, so be it. It only solidifies his chances at getting MVP, which has been well-deserved for the last 4 seasons. This guy is unbelievable. He's second to none, maybe Pat Mahomes because of the accolades, but what he can do on the football field, it is so fun to watch. This guy is the best football player in the NFL, not quarterback, football player. And I love it, and I'm here for it, and I just have to express so much gratitude. And maybe I'm delusional as a Bills fan here. Maybe because someone told me I look like him, I'm a little up in the sky. But I freaking love it, and I'm here for it, Josh Allen. I love you, Josh Allen.
But he's overrated, Jake. I mean, that's what I was
overrated.
Hearing from the media. He's just overrated. I mean, seriously. By the way, I always forget to ask folks. I kind of put it out there in the chat. If you're new to the channel or if you're not new, smash that like button. If you are new, drop a nickel on the subscribe button for us. We greatly appreciate it. We got a lot of great content on this show or on this channel all week long. We'll talk about that towards the end. But Chad the Chief coming in for a second time with a $15 super chat. Chad, you're incredible. For the panel of the teams that have played so far, including the Monday Night Football matchup, which teams would you put in your top 5 in the power rankings after week 1? So everybody kind of get your thoughts together, bring up your NFL.com, whatever you got to bring up to look at who won. And I'm going to go with Sean first.
I can only give 2 confidently because, obviously it has to be teams that won. But then when you look at teams like maybe us and Miami, we did end up winning, but there was a lot left to be desired. So do I feel comfortable putting us in the top 5 yet? But I would say the Chiefs and Dallas are my 2 absolutely should be after week 1 top 5. Could change, but they're the teams that Chiefs, they obviously did very well. And then Dallas, they tore apart that number 1 defense from last year. It just seemed like it wasn't even a fun game to watch. So those are the 2 teams I could say. I mean, I'm sure the panel can think of 3 other names, but those are 2 I thought stuck out to me.
Okay, let's do it this way. Since you've already brought up 2, why don't I go to Jessica next? You give me your 3rd, Jake give me the 4th, and then Brett, you give me the 5th, and I'll give an honorary mention. So who's the third team that should be in that top 5 power ranking?
Right now, I think the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
That was a great comeback from them last night. So, all right, love that. And Jake, who should be number 4 on that power ranking?
Well, I would have put the Detroit Lions, but I don't know. They're losing right now to the Rams. This is tough. They started off hot in this game. I thought they were going to just run away with this victory, but man, this is really hard to say. I'm not going to put the Bills there. Week 1, it was just very unimpressive to me. I mean, the Ravens were very close to beating the Chiefs, so I might have to put the Ravens there.
All right, Ravens at number 4, and Brett, round it out.
So here's what I'm going to do, guys, okay? I'm going to round it out with a team that has not played yet. And I think that it's got to be the 49ers that are on that list. And if I look at the list, I'm going to say it has to go, obviously, the 49ers first. I think Dallas played very well in their game. Their defense looks incredible with Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator. Then I would say Kansas City. I would round it out. I think that Baltimore has to be 5, obviously, but Philadelphia looked pretty good as well. So that's how I would round it out. But there's some honorable mentions that could be in play too, and it's interesting to see which AFC East team you could even put in the mix as well.
Save me a couple.
Patriots.
So yeah, I mean, Patriots, for sure. I'm gonna say the Rams, and we didn't say the Rams yet, right?
Nope.
All right, and this is just for our AFC Summit talk. I hate to say this, but because they haven't played yet, you said the Niners. I'm gonna say the Jets. Let's say the Jets because he did say, including tomorrow's matchup, and according to Vegas, the Jets are going to win the AFC East.
They're the best team in the history of time.
Absolutely. Screw Vegas. I'm telling you right now. But we know how Vegas, they'll put you at the top and you don't typically win. So I'm good with that. Dennis, thank you, Chad. I hope that was a good question. It was a great question. And we appreciate you again with the big super chat. Dennis, best Bills channel on the net. We love you, Dennis. Thank you so much for that comment. We appreciate you. We really, really do.
See, now you're upsetting me and Keith because you put the Jets over our teams.
Hey,
our teams came back from down 17-3 or 14-3 and 17.
Yeah. Look, I listened to. By the way, Keith has a great channel out there, Finn's Forecast. You see it. The guys are great. It's got 4 guys to talk about it. They were talking I said I thought the Bills would be in first place because they all had tough games. Little did I know, the Patriots. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to the AFC Summit this Tuesday. But those guys on the Dolphins, this was a cakewalk. They were just walking past that game like the Jags were nothing. And I didn't even get to watch it, but apparently it all came down to somebody fumbling going into the end zone. Was that
Travis Etienne, right?
Etienne.
So talk to me about, was that towards the end?
4 minutes left.
How did that go down?
Yeah.
So they're driving, about 4 minutes left. It's tie score still, 17 all.
He was
he fumbles.
He was at it was 17. Yeah, I think it was 17-14 or 17-17. Keith will have to correct me, but then it was 17-14, and then 17-7. It was 17-7, and then he ran it, fumbled it at the 1. It flew in the end zone, and the Dolphins picked it up, and then that was it. The Jags didn't score in the second half, and what's his name? Sanders hit a 52-yarder to win.
Yeah.
Dennis, again, thank you so much. We appreciate your support, and thank you so much for the super chat. It's really, really appreciated. Keith, I don't know. I'm telling you that your guys were making it seem simple. Maybe you were the level-headed one. I think you were the one maybe said, because I came in there and I put it in the chat, and you agreed with me that this is not an easy game. I do remember that. But your other guys were talking it up like let's move past this game. It's not a big deal. Let's see here. Dennis, I appreciate your honesty about what you see, and don't hold back. That's the whole panel here. Thank you. And then it went from almost 24-7 to 17-14.
Yeah, so 17-7. Yeah, so that was a huge and Javon Holland, I'm pretty sure, knocked it out. So it wasn't just like Etienne fumbled on his own. So it was a big time play. So save the game, because if you go up 24-7. With a few minutes left in the game, that's it. So props to the big play on the defense.
So Keith, did you guys have your post game? Let me know. Or when is that? I'd like to listen to it. But of course, we're going to get a lot of good information on the AFC Summit Tuesday. I think I have a Patriots guy. Tommy sent me some information, and I just got to talk to him, and we might have a Pats, hopefully full time. Got all these part-time Pats guys. We got to get a full-time guy. This is getting crazy.
Yeah.
So I think, Jake, we're at a point where we can do the wheel for
let's do it.
So you got to finish your game balls, Mike.
Oh yes, so me.
That's true.
You and Brett got to do your game balls.
How could I have forgotten? Didn't you give? That's right. We got distracted. Game ball for you, Mr. McDurphy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with this University of Buffalo kid. No.
Well, there's a couple. There's a
Which
couple.
one?
No. Yes. Hey, there's one of 3 that I could say, but no.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to not say a player for a game ball. I'm going to say adjustments in the game is the game ball that I'm going to give to the entire coaching staff for making the adjustments to get the team in the right situation to win the game. That's what it came down to for me. And I loved what I saw towards the end of the second half. And let's take this momentum, bring it to Miami, and don't come out of the gates flat. Get into the game and really show them that not only are we the Buffalo Bills, but we're the team that kicked them out of the playoffs and out of getting the AFC East last season. So let's go into it and get that 2-0 mark.
Nice censorship, Brett. Nice.
Yes, I
censorship.
love it. I love it. I'm like Mr. Podger over here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's
By
going
the
on.
way,
Letting it fly today.
YouTube was the phone was ringing off the hook. Says YouTube, so I'm gonna have to,
Hey, hand
talk
up,
to you a
hand
little
up.
bit.
It's the Celsius. It's the Celsius.
Final game ball goes to none other than Cam Lewis. Like we said earlier, he was supposed to be that third safety used on the dime package. When Taron Johnson went out, he did his best impression of Taron Johnson. Second in tackles, 10 tackles, guys, 10 tackles. And you saw him. I mean, he was he's working his way through those big offensive linemen, much like Taron Johnson, making plays at the line of scrimmage or near the line of scrimmage. He had a fantastic day, and it should put to bed Trek Reviewer calling for his head and cutting Cam. Trek Reviewer, we got to put that at ease. Maybe this is his game, his best game ever, but it was a fantastic game, and Cam Lewis definitely.
It was a good time for it, Mike.
It was. We needed it, right? If he made some key stops, and if we didn't have those, they would have continued drives, and who knows how this game would have. He had 10 tackles, guys. 10 tackles.
So further notice, he's a beast.
He is. He's a beast.
What a confidence booster for him, though. I mean,
For sure. Yeah.
And from going from not only playing on defense, but being a core special teams player in this game as well, with being a gunner, and the guys that stepped up to the plate, playing two ways on special teams and on defense, or even Matt Collins on in special teams and on offense. Incredible to see what we have done from the team perspective, and I'm excited to see where we go throughout the rest of the season.
All right, guys, we're going to bring up the wheel.
And real quick,
yeah,
what did you guys think of Keon Coleman?
Oh, good question.
Fantastic.
Talking about that.
Yeah.
I got to ask you this, Jake, okay? Was that pass interference, offensive pass interference?
No.
On Coleman?
Well, it was right in front of me, and I'm going to say no. I saw it. It was right there. I think you got to let him play.
Well,
I love it. I love the no call.
To that point, if Murphy Bunting didn't have his arms draped all over him, then they would have called it. But because Murphy Bunting was basically tackling him before the ball came, they were allowing the push. So at first I was worried. I'm like, oh, no, they're going to call the push off. But then I saw the play again. I was like, oh, man, he was like ripping his shoulders apart when he was trying to catch the ball. So it was all good. But that's the good part about Keon is he got some holdings called on him, got his penalty yardage too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And that's part of that big frame where people are gonna, I lost him, so I got to hold on to him, or is he gonna make a big play? And it was nice to see he didn't waver, and he didn't get two crazy touchdowns like Worthy, but he got 2 more catches. So Coleman's got more catches and more yards, but less touchdowns. So we'll keep the tally going.
Yeah, there was only one drop, and that was Dalton.
Yeah. And it wasn't even. I mean, it was a tough catch. He got absolutely drilled.
It's his normal one, Jake. Like those ones when he's going to the ground, we've seen it so many times. He just struggles with those. That was to me the only drop, so that's fantastic news as well. But it was nice to see Kincaid getting out there. I'm sorry, Knox.
Yeah, he made a nice catch. I was happy for him.
Yeah, Kincaid was a little quiet, but that's going to change in the near future. So I want to know from Keith, how did Chop Robinson do? Because I was going to place a bet for him, Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I don't know. They talked me off the edge. Anyhow.
Well, I don't love this reply here, Mike. Well, actually, I do, because that's good for us. But he said, I'm pretty sure he was somewhere in the stadium.
Okay, interesting.
All right.
And it sucks for even more because the guy, Andrew Van Ginkel, that they let go, got a pick 6 and a couple sacks today, I think. So I was watching TD when he was live, and all his Viking friends were messaging him saying, hey, man, that Van Ginkel, he's even better than advertised. And he's like,
Yeah, he's the real deal.
All right. Well, let's bring up the wheel. Let's see how this is gonna look. I don't know. We'll try because all 5 of us. Let's see where it merges us. Let's go.
And by the way, we have multiple sizes, so don't be scared. We have small up all the way up to XXX, I believe. So, yes, we have a lot of sizes.
I'm gonna be covered. I'm gonna fall in the sword. I'm down there. I'm gonna be covered up. Actually,
These people are all in the chat.
Actually, I think no. This is just when you go there, they put some default names. We're gonna get rid of them.
I think I've never seen a
real quick.
Beatrice in the chat before.
Yeah.
We're
Charles.
Pretty good.
We're gonna take off the overlay here. That way we get the full thing in screen. But I need some names. Who's up for a Nickel City Mafia?
All right, we got Weston. We got.
All right, let's go.
I'll go slow. We got Weston. We got Tom S. We got Chad the Chief. We got Stefan. We got Dennis. Got to throw Keith into the mix too because Keith probably needs one of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got Dennis. We got Dog on it. Oh, we already got Dennis on there. Dog on it. Who else do we got here? We got Stefan.
Yeah, track reviewer.
Track reviewer. Yep. Let's see. Big Al already has one, so we can't put him in.
Yep.
But thank you, Dan. Thank you very much.
So I can get more of my business uniforms. I'll use your cousin, even though it's far away.
Yeah.
But I'll have to get
sure, man.
I'll have to get in touch with you.
For sure. Who else do we got? Anyone
I'm
else?
just going through everybody here. Let's see here. I think that got
RX Fly Fishing.
RX Fly Fishing. All right.
Does Big Al have one yet?
He does. Yeah. My brother-in-law, Zach Poffler. I know he'd be in. Listen, he's in on every giveaway, so let's throw him on.
He doesn't have one already? Big Al didn't throw one already?
No. He's got to earn it.
All right.
You got Zach in there?
How about Bill Thornton? Throw Bill Thornton in the
mix.
Oh,
of course. How can I forget that?
Can you give Zach a different? Oh, there we go. 'Cause I was going to say there was 2 blues next to each other.
And that StreamYard is the first comment. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, last
we got a
chance
good wheel here. You know what? Throw Bill G on the list too. That's my neighbor. He was texting me, giving me some different pointers for the show. Shout out to you, Bill.
All right. The only thing I have to ask, Jake, why is he not out on the show? Why is he texting?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Well, I mean,
here's a fun one.
I think he's subscribed. I think he is subscribed.
All right.
Put Cam Lewis, and if it lands on Cam Lewis, you have to give everybody in the wheel a
we don't have that many. We won't last.
No, we got to do one a week. We got to keep it one a week.
Well, the odds are good.
I'm gonna put him in
to win.
It's fun, but if we land on it, we'll do another one.
Okay.
Here's what you can do. You can send it to One Bills Drive. I don't know if you know that.
That's a good idea.
Cam does watch, so I'm sure he'll
yeah.
Oh my gosh, we got to send one to Cam.
Cam, we love
incredible.
You. All right, spin that thing.
All right, I need one person on the panel. I'm going to randomly pick somebody, and I want you to give me a number between 1 and 10. So I'm going to go to the lady of the show. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
6.
All right, we're going to shuffle this thing 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to spin the wheel. Here we go, everybody.
I think
round and round we go.
Win.
Who?
I think Stefan's going to win.
Stefan, he's my co-worker, big Bills fan.
Let's see.
Loves the Bills. He's on the East Coast. I think he's in Pittsburgh. Oh, no,
no way.
Oh, no. Oh, you neighbor Bill G.
Hey, that's an easy delivery. That's right across the street, baby. Bill.
You know what's funny? If you didn't put Cam Lewis in, Stefan would have won.
I know. Stefan's going to be mad at me. But I'll tell you
Stefan, it was my fault.
I'll tell you what. Anyone can have that merchandise. The link is in the description of the show. Click on the link. There's a lot of cool stuff that the Big Stitch and Embroidery does. Want to bring it up real quick, Jake? Why not? Show it off.
Yeah. Let's bring it up.
Bring it up the site.
1 second here.
I'm going to ask you guys because I'm torn between the black, the blue, and the white windbreaker. But
yeah, they got some. They got some good stuff on here. And it's cool because we have our own like business page on here too. So you can go right to Nickel City Mafia. Let's see here. Let's present. And we're going to go right here. All right. So check it out. We got the website right here. Did a nice job on this. Johnny, shout out to you, man. I mean, you put some time into this thing. So as you can see, he's got some different Buffalo merchandise. The Buffalo with the chicken wing. You got to do it right. He goes to a lot of different pop-up shops right now. So he goes to, I know he does like flea markets and the mall and stuff like that. And actually, I think our stuff is featured right at the top, which is kind of cool. You just go to the regular shop. But then you can actually go to company apparel here. And he has 2 accounts currently. So he has K9 Barks and Brew, which is a cool place. It's a dog park where you can drink beers. I mean, how cool is that? And then he has us. So you click on Nickel City Mafia, and he's got some options down here. And I know he's going to be adding some more. He will be adding the polos on here, some T-shirts, and some other things. So, the thing Mike was talking about.
Click on that one, please. Click on that.
The windbreaker. I
love this thing, but he added the black, he had that last year. I think the blue is new. The logo to me feels like it would be best on the white, but I need your opinion, guys, on the panel. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the white, at least for me.
The white is sharp.
Depends.
You just got to be careful.
Are you?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said depends how messy you are.
Oh no, I'm like when I'm wearing my Bills gear, I am not messing up anything.
And then the white is always clean on uniforms, but if you're going to be wearing it outside and whatever, then I would get the black one.
All right, I'm gonna go with the white. I got Chad out there. He's super chatted us twice. I'm gonna go with white, and of course, Jessica has great style as well, so I want to listen to her. All right, white it is, and I love this Chad the Chief. That is what I call free shipping.
It really is. You ain't kidding.
You need to tell him that you threw his name in there because he texted. Let's see him on the chat next time.
That's right. I want to see a few comments, Bill. Hopefully you're still out there watching. We appreciate you, man. Hell yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. It was a fun show. We're right about the hour and 30 mark, which is great for us. And let's see here. Where's the one I wanted? That's fine to end the show. So thank you all in the channel. It's always fun. You guys make the show. We couldn't do it without you. If we did, it'd be super boring. So we really appreciate you. Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for hanging out in our group chat and helping me through this game. It was rough. Same with you, Brett. And Mr. Podger, always great to hear. I mean, what's your record now? Going to games in the last 3 years. What's the record?
I'm pretty good. The only ones I've lost are the away games at Philly and at Miami. Okay. And those were nail biters too. But
So, you know the deal.
I did lose last year when we went to the Broncos game. That was tough.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only loss, though. Okay. Yeah, it's in the last 3 years. By the way, the legend of the game, Andre Reed.
Andre Reed.
Cool. You got the crowd fired up. Yep.
Yeah. By the way, I always you were talking about your Walmart version of Josh Allen.
Check that short out.
I still like to. I always bring up that short every now and then. It's with Andre Reed. Was on our show at one point in time, and Jake asked him about it. It was hysterical. It's a funny short.
That was awesome.
And also, by the way, we put that short out about it said Xavier Worthy to the Bills, right? And I knew after that Chiefs victory with Xavier Worthy, I'm starting to get these comments and thank you so much, Bills, for giving us Pat Mahomes and Xavier Worthy. I'm like, I kind of laughed it off. I said I knew this was coming, but yeah, we'll be getting some more traction on that particular one. But good show, everybody, and thank you, Buffalo Barbie, Brett, and Jake and Sean. We'll see you. So, first of all, we got the AFC East Summit Tuesday. Goes live at 7:30 p.m. All reps, hopefully a Pats rep, hoping. And they're going to be talking about their games in week 1. And of course, it's kind of a preview game for week 2, Bills, Dolphins. It's just 2 days after. I mean, this is
baby.
Incredible, huge game already in week 2. So you don't want to miss that show. We got the Ruthless. You guys, based on our new schedule that we have to do, I think you're doing the preview show on Wednesday, correct? Is that what we kind of planned it for? And then, of course,
I won't be able to do it Wednesday. I thought we were doing every Saturday still.
Oh, no. Well, it's Thursday night game. So We got to do the preview before Thursday, but we'll figure that out. We'll get someone on with Brett. And then, of course, Jake and I and Buffalo Barbie will be on late Thursday night. You guys can join us again if you like for the post game show. And I think we have some fantasy football, and we'll see what happens on the weekend. All right, everyone, take care. Go Bills.
Go
Go
Bills.
Bills.
Take the Sabres with you.
Go Bills.